Okay, so because we tried the Dubai chocolate cake last week, Dubai pistachio cake last week, we've seen this, my partner and I, pistachio cake at our local coffee shop called MANAKA. And we're curious to see if this will be better than that on the pistachio plate. So we have a pistachio sponge cake, which is green with little pieces of nuts, as you can see. So it looks really nutty, but it doesn't have that crunchy weird thing that threw me off in the typical Dubai style. It looks like a typical vanilla kind of icing, and then a pistachio type icing on the outside. So I feel like this is more my style if I'm going pistachio nutty than the other one. But yeah, I'm excited to try it. So
I like the color.
it is a nice color. It's nice and light and bright at the same time, not dull or intimidating. So just try a bit of more of the sponge for the first one more so than icing.
I love the face pulling.
That's interesting. Yeah. It's okay. This is better in terms of the cake because it's obviously spongy cake. The other one was moussey, which was delicious, but this is more cakey. But it kind of has this like, I think it's like rose water kind of nuttiness, which is very typical to Indian flavors, which is actually very nice. And the cake is moist, the sponge is moist. And it's got the texture from the nuts, so it's actually very interesting. The icing part is a little bit sweet, so let's try a little bit more just to...
Yeah.
Okay, there's almond essence in this.
Good.
Not rose, it's almond essence.
Okay.
But I don't know if the essence is coming from the icing or the cake. I think it's from the cake. The icing is too sweet. This is a typical plain butter icing sugar butter texture.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest icing, but the sponge cake is delicious. It's definitely almond essence. I know, it's crazy I got that mixed up.
There are pistachios in the sponge.
Yeah, so the nutty texture is great, but you don't taste pistachio, you taste almond. I thought it was rose because a lot of these flavors normally have rose.
Okay.
But now I tasted it's definitely almond. So I feel like it's definitely got the nutty flavor, but it's more almond flavor than pistachio flavor. So the sponge is very nice, but this middle icing in the middle.
Does look quite sweet.
I'm gonna taste the top now, but the middle part here, that's just plain butter icing and it's too sweet.
Well, that's the same.
So
on the outside.
no, this is white. This is different, so it might be different. So let's try this. See, it's very crumbly, but it is actually moist, so it's actually really nice. The sponge cake part. It's a typical buttercream.
Same thing.
And too sweet.
Yeah.
It's a nice color. It's the same thing as the middle. A little bit airier, but the middle's a little bit more
Sugary.
No, they're both sweet and sugary. This one's just a bit heavier. This is a bit lighter, but I feel like it's just the color.
So
It's the same. The icing sucks. I'm sorry. I've had good butter icings. Okay. This one is just generic sweet.
Yeah.
It looks pretty, but it doesn't taste like a wow.
So what are you getting?
So the sponge is very good, but the icing is very average. So I would give this a 6. Because the sponge is good and there is nuts and the almond essence is great. But so I'll give it points for that because it means a lot when they use actual texture, nuttiness pieces, which gives it a bit of authenticity. But the icing brings it down.
Too sugary and then the almond flavors.
I didn't mind the almond essence because it does add flavor. I don't have an issue if you're using artificial flavoring.
But why use almond when you're making a pistachio?
That's what I'm saying. It gives a nutty flavor. But so texture-wise, if I was eating this without knowing anything about pistachios, for me it would be a nutty cake. But I don't like the icing because it's just generic and sweet. So it's not a wow factor. 6 is generous, but I'm giving it a 6 because the almond balance is good.
But it's not
Because
an
you
almond cake.
can easily mess up your balance of almond essence.
Yeah, but why would you want almonds in a pistachio cake?
But that's what I'm saying. If I didn't know it was pistachio, I would
Yeah, but that's-
assume it's a nutty cake, which is fine because it does taste nice, the sponge, and it is moist.
You need to be blindfolded to not know.
But in terms of a
That is
pistachio cake,
pistachio.
of course, I'm disappointed. But I think the sponge is done well in terms of a nutty cake. So that's what I'm saying. A 6
Okay.
is generous, but I like the nutty flavor. So that's what I'm saying. I'll give it a 6.
Yeah. Alright.
If I have to be, if I didn't like the spongy cake, then I'd give it a 4. But because I like the sponge cake, because they got the balance right with the essence, and you've got the texture of nuts, which you don't get often. I mean, carrot cakes are great, and a lot of them that you get now, they don't have the texture with the pieces of nuts, so that throws it up. So I'll give them a 6 just because of the sponge, but definitely nothing more than a 6 because of that. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.